It'd be a good time, I think, if you'll help me tell the story about how Attorney Tom Olsen hosted the Olsen and Law radio show. Well-known attorney in Orlando, Florida, came just a hair width of going straight to jail a couple of months ago. And
Yes.
folks, I am not exaggerating.
No. Serious. And that's why, though, too, that it came up because of Bill.
Yeah,
This
'cause
is
of
why
Bill.
we're saying
Yeah.
we're mentioning
Yeah.
this again, and then we'll tie it into Bill. So go ahead.
All right. So a couple months ago, we were doing our annual beach vacation. We rent a beach house over in Ponce Inlet, and you and I are out doing our grocery shopping, and we're coming back from the grocery store, and we're talking about what a great day we're going to have that day, and time out on the beach, time riding the bikes, and et cetera, et cetera. And in Ponce Inlet, we know that if you go a couple miles over the speed limit, the cops will stop you. So I got this cruise control set on 35. There's no way I'm speeding. I see a policeman come up behind me. He's got his lights flashing. I see him so often, cops come up behind you. They're just waiting to go around you to go get the guy in front of you that's breaking the law. And, so I'm looking at him through my rearview mirror, thinking surely he's looking for somebody else. I roll down my window. I take my hand. I got to wave him around. Go ahead. You go around me. It's clear. I can just keep on driving. And, he
gosh.
pulls up next to me and rolls down his window. Stop your car right now. I go, what? You talking to me? I think. And, we're on A1A. It's a 2-lane road. So I think you don't stop your car on A1A. So,
Right.
okay, I'm going to start looking for a place. I don't see a place that comes up, real handy. But I see a place you come up to a road where I start to take a right, but I see it's a gated community. And it's, got gates in it. I don't want to stop here,
Right in front of the gates,
So
yeah.
I pull back out on A1A. I keep going until I finally reach a street public street I can pull off onto the right.
Yes.
My heart's beating now. And there's really only one thing I'm thinking at this point in time. Keep on smiling. So I, stop the car. You're in there with me. And I roll down my window. And he comes up to me. And he is one agitated Ponce Inlet policeman. And all I could do is keep on smiling. He goes, sir, do you know why we get so agitated when people fail to stop? You should have pulled right off the road. You should have pulled over right away. Do you know how agitated it makes us? And he is somebody that, man, I better start trying to turn that frown upside down. So I just keep on smiling and saying, no, I didn't I understand. He goes, do you know that your license is suspended? I go, I had no idea that my license was suspended. He goes, yeah, your license is suspended for over a year. When your license has been suspended for over a year, we can assume that you were knowingly driving with a suspended license. I could take you to jail right now. Keep on smiling, Tom. And, you're there with me.
Even though it's pretty scary to hear those words.
Pretty scary.
Yeah.
Pretty scary. And he goes, and I go, help me tell the story. I mean, you were there too. And
Oh, yeah.
he, so I get out of the car and, show him the registration and all that good stuff. And he goes, well, I could take you to jail right now, but I'm going to let you pull the car over here. And, thank goodness we were only a couple of blocks away from the house that we were renting. Plus, we
Correct.
got a car full of groceries. And,
Yes.
you said to officer, hey, well, officer, can I just drive the car home? Let me drive. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I got to take the license plate. I got to take the tag off this car right now. And, gets out the screwdriver and starts unscrewing my tag.
Mm-hmm.
And so the point about that story is that
Lo and behold, it was a tag issue.
it was a tag issue. So what had happened was that a couple years earlier, I had sold a car to a private buyer. It was a private sale. Before that buyer drove off my driveway, I took my license plate off the car that I sold, and I put it in my carport garage closet, not thinking anything about it.
Right.
And then, as it turns out, eventually the state of Florida and of course I call my insurance company, say I sold that car, you can drop the insurance on it. And eventually the state of Florida sees, well, here's a tag that's still
in the system.
In the system, there's no insurance associated
Right.
with it. It's associated with Attorney Tom Olsen. Therefore, he's got to drive around with a car out there that has no
Right.
insurance on it. Therefore, we're going to suspend his license. Did they ever send me something in the mail? Absolutely not.
No.
When between selling that car and I bought another car, a few months ago,
Right.
used car, by the way, and bought a used car, got a brand new tag for it, borrowed money from a bank. Did the dealer, did the lender, did anybody say, Tom, by the way, you got a license that's suspended? No.
No.
I had no idea whatsoever. And so, as it happens, what's the lesson to be learned here? And that is this, is that when you sell a car, private sale, you can't just take the tag off the car and stick it in your closet somewhere. You got to go through the process of surrendering that tag.
Yes. Yes.
And so that luckily I went to my closet and found the tag. Luckily I kept it. I don't know why I kept it. I kept it. I found it and went down to the tag and title office on a particular day because my license is suspended. I can't get it back until I do. And I walk up to the tag and title office. I see a big sign on the door. It says, by appointment only. I walk in there, and I've learned that smiling goes a long way. Honestly, smiling is the universal language.
Yes.
I walk up to the lady, big smile on my face. Hey, you'll never believe this. My license got suspended. I forgot to surrender my tag. Here's my tag. She goes, oh, I'm so sorry, sir. We do by appointment only.
Uh-huh.
Meanwhile, my license is suspended. And she goes, oh, you know what? I'll put you in the system. You can have a seat over there, and we'll call you when it's your turn. And, of course, you go to the tag and title office, at least here in Orange County. There's 50 people sitting there. I'm thinking, okay, it could be an all-day event, but that's what you got to do it. Got to get my license unsuspended, I sit down, pull out my phone, going to start to check my emails and so forth. Tom Olsen, number 67, it's your turn. Within 30 seconds, they got me out there. I go up to see the clerk, and it's a different clerk. Big smile on my face. Hey, you'll never believe what happened. I forgot to surrender my tag. And she goes, oh, don't worry, sir. I can take care of you right now. She starts punching in the numbers on our computer. And I'm going to take care of you. It's all be worked out. Don't worry about it. And, gets to the end of it. And she goes, okay, all in all, there's a $255 it's a $250 fine, and with credit card fee, convenience fee is $257. I go, fine, I'll be happy to pay to get this issue resolved. And I pull up my credit card. She goes, oh, our credit card system is down. I'm so sorry, sir. And, you and me, we're believers in carrying around cash.
We do.
And when I open up my wallet and I start looking at my cash, as usual, my cash is all completely unorganized. I see a couple
Different than
50s in
mine.
there. I see some ones in there. I go, oh, my God, I'm going to be short. I got so lucky getting in here. I'm going to be short. This is not going to work out. I start, unfolding all my bills. Oh, here's some 20s.
You're like, we're getting closer.
I'm getting closer, and I got $252. And she goes, well, since you don't have to pay a convenience fee, it is only $250. I got just enough.
Yay!
Oh, Lordy. And so I give her the $250, and she prints me out a form that says, you're good to go. You may get stopped on the way home. It may not be in the system, but here's a letter you show the officer that your license is officially unsuspended.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
So the lesson to be learned there is that when you, and by the way, if you sell a car through a dealership, they're going to take care of that.
Correct.
When you do a private sale like our last caller did,
Right, that's
and you take
exactly.
that tag off your car or
Correct.
off your scooter, you can't just throw it in a closet. I just assumed that when it came time to renew it again, I wouldn't renew it, and they cancel the thing out.
Right.
But no,
that's not the situation.
No, there is a process in the state of Florida, and a lot of people. I've told the story to a lot of people, and they say, Tom, for years and years, when I'm done with the tag, I throw it in a pile. I've been collecting them over the years. People do that. But no, here in the state of Florida, man, when you sell a car, private sale, you've got to take that license plate down to the tag and title office and officially go through the surrender process.
Yes, and this is where, just like caller Bill, I know that Bill was asking you the question about the tow truck company. And of course, I realize that's a concern of his, and rightfully so, and what to do. And you were immediately connecting it to the state of Florida and that possibility of that policy. But it occurred to me when he was describing it, because he talked about that he kept his tag, that hopefully he doesn't have another issue,
Yeah, and
which is
you and I,
that his license is suspended.
we're always a believer in making lemonade out of lemons and looking at the bright side. And I got stopped by the Ponce Inlet Police Department, and that police officer turned out to be once he was unagitated, being nice to me, understanding probably this is what happened, sir. You need to go get it resolved. And it could have been so much. And by the way, so then we go back to our beach house and think, okay, we had a great day planned out on the beach, riding bikes, but no, I'm spending time on the phone trying to get this all resolved.
Absolutely. We are.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
It didn't turn out to be the day we thought we would have. But it could have been a lot worse if this had not, and we were within a couple blocks of where we were staying, so we got to be able to walk there, with our groceries
Exactly.
And so that it could have been worse. I could have been in another part of Florida. I could have been in another state when this had all happened, and that would have been really bad to be out in the middle of nowhere and get stopped in those circumstances.
Exactly. Well, and you're right. So thankfully, it all worked out well. And for the police officer, of course, he, again, doing his job. And at Ponce Inlet, which we know that this is the case with many other communities in Florida and other locations where they have systems set up. So what happened is that scanned your license.
Right.
So you were not speeding. So just to let people know, there are communities like there where they scan it, and part of the police, they know their job is they are monitoring for the safety of their residences and people that are visiting. They are scanning license plates going in and out because they are wanting to make sure it's safe. And it came up then that yours was suspended, which is why that triggered this series of events.
Right. In Ponce Inlet, there's only a couple ways in and out of there. They got cameras up there that are scanning your license plates, and boy, his system must have lit up when they saw mine go by.
Exactly.
And he, it's probably not much excitement on a day-to-day basis. He probably got pretty excited to see this guy driving by with a suspended license.
Yes.
And you remember the rest? So we were there for about 10 more days, and tell you what, every time I turned around, there was another Ponce Inlet policeman somewhere nearby. I felt like I was actually, we drove there a week ago, and I was getting PTSD.